Hey, well, look who decided to say hello. Hey, Ace, what's up? What's up, man? Your puppy video sure was cute yesterday. My God, he was the cutest little puppy, and he's still cute. He's still cute. My little bruiser. Well, y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. I made the mistake of turning on the news. I think I'm going to be glued to the news all day. That's my prediction. I don't think I'm going to get any reading done because I have, not sponsored, I have YouTube TV. And they have this function where you can watch like 4 news channels at once. There is a slight possibility that I might start a new book today. I picked up Crudo by Olivia Lang. And it's short and it has flowers on the cover. So it fits in with this month's theme. I don't know. The Waters is kind of slow. And I feel like I need to just read something quick and kind of change up the pace a little bit. Because I don't want to fall into a reading slump. I really don't. Especially not at the end of the month. It's been a really good month of reading. And I just don't want to be like, crawling my way to the finish line. I don't want to end it that way. So I think I just need a sense of like, you can read a book, you can finish one. And I love Olivia Lang. I think this is the only book of hers that I haven't read. I've read all of her nonfiction books. So, yeah, hopefully she'll come through. She usually does. Well, hello. Happy Monday. It's a very busy day here in New York. I've been glued to the news. This morning I started reading Olivia Lang's book. About 50 pages in. It's a short book. I'll probably finish it today. Still reading The Waters. It's slow going, but I am enjoying it. There was a section in the book I just finished involving a rattlesnake that if you have a fear of snakes, man, The Waters might not be the book for you. Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. I'm about to warm up some lunch courtesy of Trader Joe's. I'm hoping that I'm not entering a reading slump, but it's beginning to feel like one. Even though I'm almost finished with Crudo, which I started yesterday. But I started this book because I just kind of stopped reading The Waters for no reason whatsoever. I left the book on a really high note, but then the next day I just didn't want to pick it up, and I don't know why that is. So I started reading Crudo as just a way to kind of like break things up, I guess. It might be the fact that I still have 5 books on my TBR, and I knew that I wasn't going to get to all of them, but I didn't expect to have so many books left unread at the end of the month. And I think the reason why that might be is because of the whole Ace debacle. He's been having issues with his ears, and basically a lot of my time this month was spent taking care of him and going back and forth to the vet. I have another appointment on Thursday just to do kind of a follow-up, so that's taken a lot of my energy. And then I don't know, I'm tired. Physically I'm tired. The reality is I think I'm just getting old, y'all. I'm old. Yeah. That's the thing about getting old. It happens to everyone. If you're lucky. If it hasn't happened to you yet, it soon will. I really should record a tag video today. I've been tagged in 2 videos, but I just don't have the energy to do it today, and I don't want to force it. And I know that if I did shoot it today, it wouldn't really be 100%. I don't want to put anything out there that isn't 100%, or that I'm not into. Not that I'm not into the tags, I'm just not into shooting it today. I'm not in the mood. I'm tired. This must be so much fun to watch. I need to get a haircut. I really need to get a haircut. It's getting really shaggy in the back and on the sides, and I need to do that. But today I'm just gonna throw on a hat. I might do it. If I can, oh, I should do that today. Maybe I will. God, I don't want to do anything today. I just feel like I'm asleep on my feet, honestly. Lord. Saved by the Bell. Okay, quick update. I just finished reading Crudo by Olivia Lang, and she perfectly captured what I had just discussed this morning. The sort of feeling of fatigue and being sucked into the news cycle. That's what this book is about. I swear to you, 5 minutes after I recorded that little morning update, I read this sentence. Kathy was becoming obsessed with the numbness, the way the news cycle was making her incapable of action, a beach somnolent well. And then on page 116, she follows that up with, I am just so tired. Relatable, Olivia. So needless to say, I feel like this was the book that I probably shouldn't be reading at this time when you're kind of in that headspace, but it was also exactly the book I needed to read at this time because it's motivating me to go outside, to take care of business, to not become a beached whale, to not fall into, the traps of the extremely bleak news cycle. So that's what I'm gonna do. I know this little guy wants to go out for a walk, so I'm gonna do that first before I do anything. But I'm definitely gonna take him out on a walk and get myself a haircut. See, that wasn't so bad at all. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of myself. It was nothing. The place where I get my hair cut is literally the size of a closet. You could stand in the store and touch both sides of the wall. That was not bad at all. I'm ashamed it took me so long to get going. Still not shooting a video. It didn't take long to get my hair cut. The travel back wasn't too terrible. We still had a power outage and someone got pushed in front of a train. But other than that, I started Orlando. I'm on page 40. Currently, Orlando is a young, I think like 16-year-old kid. He is very romantic. He loves poetry, he loves writing, and he loves the ladies, and the ladies love Orlando. Hello, hello, happy Wednesday. I am on my way to the library. I have to return a book. Just don't have enough time to read it this month. I was really hoping to get to it because I loved Poor Things, and I wanted to read more from the author, but it's just not possible. And that's the only thing about the library. It's an invaluable source, but if you have a TBR of 7, 8, 10 books, you just never know when those books you put on hold are gonna come in. And timing wise, it doesn't always work out. So I'm gonna return that book, and then the big mission of the day is to do a major book unhaul. I'm gonna tackle the second kitchen cabinet, which has just piles of books in it. This is what we're dealing with today. But I still say, it is not hoarding if it's books. I will die on that hill and probably under a pile of books. The first step is admitting that you have a problem. Okay, this is what we're dealing with, and yes, it is double stacked. And just like last time, I'm gonna divide the books into 3 different categories: keep, undecided, and donate. Okay, so this isn't going well. All of these are books that I want to keep, and that is the donate pile. The majority of them are CDs. Someone the other day gave me some really good advice, which is when you're doing an unhaul, if it's not a hard yes, it's a no. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put them back in and determine whether it's a hard yes. I'm not gonna lie, this feels like an epic fail on my part. Especially since the first time round we donated like over 40 something books. But I will donate these. I don't know if I'm gonna walk down to the bookshelf or not, but whoa. But never fear, there are still hundreds of books hidden around this apartment that we will go through. The struggle is real. Ace is at the vet right now, getting his ears cleaned, and they're taking care of him. So I'm gonna sneak down a couple of blocks here and check out the local charity shop and see if they have any good books. Hey everyone, they're just finishing up with Ace. I did find some good books. I found Duck's Newburyport, a book by David Mitchell, The Thousand Autumns of Jacob de Zoet, and I will be removing that thrift book sticker, don't you worry. And then Clara and the Sun, a first edition, all for $5. Can't beat that. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for my baby boy to finish up, and meanwhile I am reading Orlando, so gonna knock out a few pages of that while I wait. Happy Bay Day! I'm just gonna wrap the books that I got yesterday. Cowboy Carter has been on repeat all morning long. And I have to say, it's a very unusual album. It's very different from anything that Beyonce has done previously. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Now the Renaissance project really is sort of making sense. Whereas the first album was all about house music, this album is all about country music. It's sort of about reclaiming the spaces that you've maybe been pushed out of, that you had a hand in orchestrating. So I hear Act 3 is going to be a rock album. My only complaint is I wish there wasn't that metronome sound on Blackbird, because that is such a beautiful rendition, and the harmonies of everyone on that track are just outstanding. Yesterday we determined that Ace did have an ear infection, so they put some medicine in both of his ears. So if you see any like white stuff in there, that's what that is. We have to go back next week for our second treatment. But he woke up this morning and man, he was just so full of energy, and he wanted to go out walking and playing and barking and carrying on. He seems to be back in full effect, so already seeing big improvement. Hey, I am finally getting around to donating my pathetic little unhaul that I did the other day. Gonna go drop them off at the community bookshelf. It's sort of a windy day. I don't know how much of this footage I'll be able to use, but I'm gonna give it a go. Right before I left my apartment, I finished reading Orlando, which is going to be the last book off my March TBR. I really wanted to read it this month because I'm gonna see a new stage adaptation of the book by Sarah Ruhl at, I wanna say Signature Theater, at the very beginning of the month. And it was a really great book. In the first half of the book, Virginia Woolf does her thing where she rattles on and on and on and lists things. Like if you're talking about, let's say, this flower, she'll start listing every flower in the universe and get into some descriptive prose and just go on and on about flowers. And 4 pages later, you know, we move on with the story. But once the major event of Orlando occurs, the style of her writing shifts. It's not so blah 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 blah. We had some really bad wind and rain this week, so it will be interesting to see which books survived. It looks like it's still pretty jam-packed. Okay, as you might imagine, I picked up more than I dropped off, but I did find some good books. So let me show you what I picked up. First off, there was a stash of Goosebump books, and I don't think I have these. So we have Welcome to Camp Nightmare, Egg Monsters from Mars, Reader Beware, You Choose the Scare. That's cool. It's like a Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure. And then How to Kill a Monster, all by R.L. Stine. So that's Goosebumps. Oh my God, Goosebumps! This is a book that I've seen people talk about recently, and I added it to my wish list, so I was really happy to see it turn up at the community bookshelf. It's written by a descendant of Bram Stoker, and it's Dracula. When Ace was a puppy, I read this author's book called Inside of a Dog, and it looks like this is a follow-up. It's called Being a Dog, Following the Dog into a World of Smell. If you are a dog owner, I highly suggest reading Inside of a Dog. It was really fascinating. It lets you understand their behaviors and why they do the things they do. If you've been watching my channel, you might recall I searched high and low for a copy of this book and I could not find it. Just in case I need to reference it again, I will have one on hand because I never found it, but here's another copy. This may be a duplicate because I know that I did have a collection of essays by E.B. White in my kitchen cabinet the other day, but this is Essays of E.B. White. I'll compare it and see if it's the same book. If it is, I'll go put it back, but you never know. It might have been updated or something. This is just a really clean copy of Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. I think this one is in better condition than the one that I have on my shelf. In fact, the one that I own might be a mass market paperback. It might be smaller than the rest of the books. So if that's the case, I'll donate my old copy and upgrade to this one. When I picked this up, I thought it was a collection of poems by E.E. Cummings, but apparently it's more kind of like literary criticism. But this is Twain's United States Author Series, number 46, E.E. Cummings by Barry A. Marks. That's probably going to go back in the bookshelf. And this one looks perfect for October. It's a haunted history of invisible women, true stories of America's ghosts. Ooh. And then in this bag, there's a few oversized books and art-related books. The first one is a collection of Bart Simpson comics. It's called The Big Bratty Book of Bart Simpson. This is from the National Design Museum, Fashioning Felt. Lots of cool pictures. Production photo from Grendel. Very cool. And this is from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. This is about a public art installation that took place in New York City several years ago. I wasn't living here at the time, but I did get to see it. I was visiting. What year was that? 2004. It's called On the Way to the Gates. And it talks about the design of the project, and it has lots of photos, and I'm really excited to have this one. And then this was really interesting. This is Leonard Bernstein's Young People's Concerts for Reading and Listening. And as you can see, it comes in this slipcase, and inside there's a book. And it looks very much like a, music textbook for a kid. But then there's also this little box of records. I just thought that was really unique, and it looks like it's in good condition, so I couldn't pass that up. And I saved the best for last. I think this book is going to be perfect for Garbagus, and that is Nuns with Guns. Out-of-control producer Rick Salter wants to leave reality TV, get married, and make movies, but it's not easy. When a senseless murder touches his life, Rick enlists his pal, Sister Rosemary, to make Nuns with Guns, a TV series about 4 sisters competing to collect the most firearms. Protests and death threats pile up as the nuns travel the country running gun exchanges. Propelled by the show's spirited stars and crazy stunts, and the shadow of death that looms over every episode, the series becomes a smash hit. As Rick pushes the envelope, trying to save America from itself, a question emerges. Who will save Rick? Should be a lot of fun. So that is everything that I picked up. Be on the lookout tomorrow. I'm going to be posting my monthly wrap-up video where I talk about all the great books that I read during the month of March, and there were some really good ones. There was only one stinker. All the others were 3s and 4s. I better get to work on editing this weekly wrap-up, or it is not going to happen. As always, please feed the algorithm, hit the like button, make a comment. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting on? And if you did subscribe, bring a friend over, why don't you? Speaking of subscriptions, we hit 1,000 subscribers last week, and I'm trying to come up with a clever way to celebrate it. I don't want to just do a Q&A. So if you have any ideas on what we can do that's a little different and will be fun and entertaining, leave a comment. Let me know what you would like to see. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow, and happy reading. Have a great weekend. See ya. Bye.